Thank you. Thank you. And a big round of applause for our POWs and MIAs. And what we have right now in this country is we have a deficit of leadership in this country right now. I mean, it's a staggering deficit of leadership. Hillary Clinton, she is unfit to be President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief. If there was a temperament problem, for anybody who watched the Commander-in-Chief's town hall a week or so ago, now you saw the temperament rise up in Hillary Clinton. And you saw her when she stood up on the stage there to argue with the individual, the great, I believe the gentleman that asked the question was out of the Navy, or a Navy veteran. What's represented behind me, and you know, you've seen all these numbers of flag officers, generals and admirals. You know, today we sort of rolling out another batch, and their numbers continue to come in. I'm going to tell you that we have 165 flag officers from all walks of life that have stepped up to say we completely support Donald Trump to be the next President of the United States and to be the next Commander-in-Chief. To tell you that the destructive pattern of putting the interests of other nations ahead of our own will end when Donald Trump is president. From this day forward, we must stand tougher and stronger together with an unrelenting goal to not draw red lines and then retreat, and to never be satisfied with reckless rhetoric from an Obama clone like Hillary Clinton. Tonight, America stands as one, with strength and confidence to overcome the last 8 years of the Obama-Clinton failures, such as bumbling indecisiveness, willful ignorance, and total incompetence that has challenged the very heart and soul of every American and single-handedly brought continued mayhem, murder, and destruction into our neighborhoods and onto the world's streets. And with Donald Trump in the White House, we will make America great again. America's once traditional, undisputed role as world leader is now in jeopardy. It's in jeopardy, folks. The Obama-Clinton duo, they failed our country by defying America's exceptionalism and betraying our nation's history and our founding fathers' revolutionary spirit. USA, I mean, God help us. Get fired up. A centerpiece of American foreign policy was once the protection of the United States and its people and interests around the world. Sadly, under current leadership, that is no longer the case. This cannot stand, period. The president must have the tools to deal with all threats to this country, and must have the guts to put them into action whenever necessary. And Donald Trump is that leader. And I'm going to say that again. Donald Trump is that leader. Our troops are distracted by trivial matters about what words to use, what terminology is politically correct, and what bathroom door to open up. My God, war is not about bathrooms. War is not about political correctness or words that are meaningless. War is about winning. War is about winning. There is no substitute. There is no such thing as a runner-up, and there are no consolation prizes. A commander-in-chief does not draw red lines and then retreat. We are tired of Obama's empty speeches and his misguided rhetoric. This has caused the world to have no respect for America's word, nor does it fear our might. Let me be clear. Coddling and displays of empathy towards terrorists is not a strategy for defeating these murderers, as Obama and Hillary Clinton would like us to believe. And releasing, and listen to what I'm about to say, and releasing terrorists will not end this war. On the contrary, it simply emboldens the terrorists and it prolongs the war. Under Barack Obama, we have no coherent strategy to protect our citizens. And under Hillary Clinton, it will be more of the same. You got it right. I am infuriated when our president bans criticism of our enemies. I am certain, I am deadly certain, that we cannot win this war unless we are free to call our enemies by name. Radical Islamists and failed tyrants. Because of Obama's ill-advised actions, the world has lost faith in American leadership, and the threats are mounting. Radical Islam metastasizing throughout the world. A complete lack of American military readiness to face multiple fronts. Untold cyber threats. Demoralized allies around the world. Growing nuclear capabilities of China, Russia, and North Korea, and loss of respect and confidence around the globe. We have become the best enemies and the worst friends. And I'm going to say that again. We have become the best enemies and the worst friends, and that has to change. These next 4 years will be consumed by the perils that we now face. And the so-called red lines or reset buttons were utter failures. And the Obama-Clinton failed foreign policy list goes on and on and on. The most damaging example of the president's failure to understand the consequences of putting political expediency ahead of national security is the emergence of ISIS. We cannot continue down this path. More lives are at stake. We do not need a weak, spineless president who is more concerned about issuing apologies than in protecting Americans. We do not need a reckless president who believes she is above the law. Lock her up. That's right. That's right. Lock her up. I have called on Hillary Clinton. To drop out of the race because she put our nation's security at extremely high risk with her careless use of a private email server. And you know why? You know why we're saying that? We're saying that because if a guy who knows this business, if I did a tenth of what she did, I would be in jail today. So, crooked Hillary Clinton, leave this race now. Before I end, I will repeat my belief that American exceptionalism is very real. Let us not fear what we know to be true. Let us not fear what we know to be true. Instead, we should always remember that our country was built upon Judeo-Christian values and principles. And instead, let us remember the sacrifices of those who have gone before us. America is unique. America is the greatest country in the history of the world. So, you're darn right. So get ready, America, get ready. Now is the time to elect fresh, bold leadership. Trump, let's go, come on. Get it going.